Hello, welcome to Chapter 7, Lesson 4. As a scan lesson, predict two things we'll learn about solving and writing multiplication equations. So we're going to learn how to solve by dividing. And we're also going to learn how to use a bar diagram. This is the equation 3x equals 9 is a multiplication equation. In 3x, 3 is a coefficient of x because it is the number which is multiplied, which x is multiplied. Fill in the table, the first one's done for you. So we have co and then pilot, the second pilot that flies the primary pilot of the plane. We have a co-author. And a co-author is someone who writes with another author. This is operate, cooperate, work together. Then we have coefficient. So coefficient. And that is when a number, factor, contains a variable. And then the number with the variable is the coefficient. So 3x, 3 is our coefficient. Real world link. Matthew's downloading ringtones. The cost to download each ringtone is $2. When Matthew is finished, he has spent a total of $10. Let x represent the number of ringtones. What does the expression 2x represent? So the equation is going to be 2x equals 10. But 2x represents $2 for each ringtone purchased. So we're going to solve multiplication equations. And to solve multiplication equations, we're going to be using inverse operations. We've been using it all this chapter. So you have to solve 2x equals 10, check your solution. So if I have 2x equals 10, that means it's 2 times x equals 10. And we need to get x by itself. In order to get x by itself, we have to get rid of everything on this side of the equal sign. So we're going to divide by 2. Because we're using inverse operations, and that's the opposite operation. So 2 divided by 2 equals 1, so it's going to cancel. And then 10 divided by 2, x is going to equal 5. So we have 3x equals 6. So with 3x, we're going to divide each side by the coefficient 3, because we have to get the x by itself, so divide by 3, divide by 3. Those are going to cancel. And x equals 2. One way we can check is 3 times 2 equals 6. Oh, this is right there. So 3x equals 6. 3 times 2 equals 6. So 6 equals 6. The sentence is true. So go ahead and try A, B, and C. So we have x equals 5, 2 equals x, and x equals 7. So now we have the division property of equality. If you divide each side of an equation by the same non-zero number, the two sides remain equal. So this is the same properties that we've been using. So if I divide 18 and 18 both by 6, my equations are still the same. Same with 3x divided by 12, divided by 3, they're still going to equal each other. So now we're going to use this using bar diagrams. It says Vincent and some friends shared the cost of a package of blank CDs. The package cost $24 and each person contributed $6. How many people shared the cost of the CD? So we have it was 6, and how many people is going to be X, and it costs $24. So here's the bar diagram. The whole thing's 24, and a section of it is 6. So if we divide the 6's amongst the 24, that's going to give us X equals 4. So there's 4 people who split the cost of the CD. So go ahead, and it says D. In 2004, Penn, Haddo, and Simon Murray walked 680 miles to the South Pole. The trip took 58 days. Suppose they traveled the same distance each day. Write and solve a multiplication equation to find out about how many miles they traveled each day. So go ahead and try D. So the key words here is the trip took 85 days, 680 miles, and they traveled the same distance. And the main thing I want to point out is each day. So each day means there's going to be multiple days. And obviously that's 58 days. So if they did 58 days, and they did a certain amount of miles each of those days, that's going to equal 680 miles. So 58 times the miles a day is going to give us the total miles. So we want to use inverse operations, and we're going to divide 58 on each side. So if I take a calculator, 680 divided by 58 equals 11.72. $0.72, and it does say about, so that means we can round. So they traveled about 12 miles each day. Example 4, this is 3 and 28/100 x equals 19/68. Check your solution. So if I take 3 and 28/100 x equals 19/68, we're going to divide each side. And then x is going to equal 6. Just inverse operations. So go ahead and try E, F, and G. So as long as your work looks like mine, we're just dividing the coefficient to both sides. So for E, we have n equals 3. For F, we have b equals 5. And for G, we have y equals 9. But that's the end of the video, so thank you for watching.